And we're live.
Welcome into Picks and Parlays Power Hour. We are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We've got some football to talk about today. I'm your host, Hannah Mears. You can follow me on Twitter at HannMears, and you can also get my Mearsy Minutes that I've been putting out with my free picks on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. Now it's time to bring in my first guest of the day, Craig Trapp. Craig, let's get you in here. And we're going to start out by talking some college football. We've got Georgia at South Carolina. Georgia is the favorite at minus 24, total 53.5. Georgia smoked Bo Nix and the Oregon Ducks 49-3 a week ago. But what are they going to do against South Carolina? What do you like in this matchup?
Well, this is a Georgia team. That was 2 weeks ago. That was opening weekend.
2 weeks ago, yes, yeah, opening week.
That they won on that neutral site, which really wasn't neutral. Georgia, most of the fans won Samford last week, 33-0. South Carolina, lost last week at Arkansas, ugly, 44-30. I actually thought that game would be a little closer, and then won the opening week, 35-14. So when you look at South Carolina, it's like they're in a rebuilding state still. I mean, they're just not at the level of Georgia, Alabama. I would even say Tennessee now, maybe even Florida. Like you go down through the SEC, they're in the bottom half. So you have a lot of things to overcome in this matchup. Thus, you're a 24-point underdog. I don't think Georgia is probably going to lose any regular season games this year. I just think that's how good Georgia is. I think they're going to run the table. I think this is an absolute mismatch, but I worry about the side here, Hannah. And the reason why is you win in 2 blowouts, which they have done so far. And then you look at South Carolina, they just lost at Arkansas, and you're like, hey, we can just come in and mow them down. And they can dominate and still win by 20. I mean, that's a domination in college football. So to me, I think you have to stay away from this side just in case. If I had to take one, I would take Georgia minus the points. But I just think you have to stay away from it. It's a, in my opinion, a look over spot. So I'm looking at the total here. I like the over 53.5. I think the last two of the last 3 times I think these two have played, this went over. Georgia, I think last year scored 40-some points. I think Georgia scores 40+ in this one. I mean, they're that good on offense this year.
Yeah, I liked actually the over on this one as well. I think it was since 2016, Georgia's hit the over 4 out of 5 times against South Carolina. So that's what I would have been taking looking at this game as well. I'm excited to see what the Bulldogs can do, but offensively, I don't see South Carolina being able to stop what they can produce.
A lot of people are worried about that defense. They haven't taken a step back. They lost all those guys to the NFL. It's like an Alabama reload here. I mean, this defense looks amazing, fast. I mean, a lot of times you have young guys at young positions, unproven, that you say, hey, maybe they're a little slow. It has not been the case. I mean, they have looked midseason form. So maybe they even get a defensive touchdown, which always helps over. So
there's a nice little prop bet if anybody's interested.
Yeah, I mean, South Carolina is going to have to score. They know they're not going to stop this Georgia offense. So I think South Carolina is going to take some extra chances. That can either lead to touchdowns for you or touchdowns for Georgia defense. So either way, you're taking the over 53.5. I think we get this over. I think this over by the end of the third quarter. That's how high it's scored, and I think this game's going to be.
Sheesh. All right. Well, if you're in for watching a touchdown fun battle, go ahead and watch the Georgia Bulldogs. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you like Craig's pick, take advantage of Craig's weekly pass, only $99 by going to picksandparlays.net/Craig. All right, Craig, on the Power Hour right now, we're going to get into some NFL rapid fire. I love this segment. 5 NFL games. We've got 5 minutes. Start it off. Who have you got first? Dolphins at Ravens. Okay. Ravens favored at -3.5, the total 44.5. Tell me, what did you see from these teams week 1? A lot of people like the Dolphins. What's going on? What do you like?
Well, Baltimore started off slow against a bad Jets team and then mowed them over late. Dolphins just the opposite. They started off pretty good in the first half. Second half, they didn't do much. Now, granted, they were up and their defense played really well. And, New England just did not look great at times, especially when they needed it on third downs. I like this Dolphins team, though, at 3.5. I know it's a tough road spot. First home game for Baltimore, so that's always a tough spot. I just think it's going to be really low scoring. I think a few the Dolphins could lose by 3. You still win. So getting that extra hook here, I really like it. I was thinking like 17-14, one way or the other. One of these teams kicking a late field goal. So give me the +3.5 with the Dolphins here.
All right, next game. We've got Washington at Detroit. The Lions favored at -2. The total set at 49. Who do you like, the Commanders or the Lions?
I like the over in this game a lot. I actually did this as a full breakdown earlier in the week. I think this is a Lions team that's going to score a lot of 24 to 27 points on most games because their offense is really good. And their defense puts them on the field a lot because they give up quick touchdowns. Washington, they really should have scored a lot more last week. I mean, there was a couple turnovers in the second half by Wentz. A couple of times they didn't score in the red zone. I think this game goes way over. If Washington wants to stay in this game, they better score because this Detroit team will score lots of points this year. I like the over 49. I even see some 49.5s out there. Either way, I like it over.
All right. No matter what you're seeing out there, we're taking the over. Patriots at Steelers, this marquee matchup that a tale of franchises, man. You've got my Steelers, not the favorite in this one. Patriots favorite actually at -1.5 coming to Acrisure Stadium. Now, Mac Jones has had some questions. Is his back okay? Yep. But on the other side, the Steelers, Najee Harris has had some foot concerns. TJ Watt is out. So how is this affecting your approach?
I'm guessing the Watt injury has this game swung because I really thought Steelers would be favored by 1 to 2 points. I did too. So I'm shocked here. I'm going to take the points. I mean, you have, as good as Bill Belichick is, Mike Tomlin is like one. If he's 1A, Mike Tomlin is 1B. If I'm starting a franchise, want to put a coach, that's how good he is. I mean, his offense was terrible last week, and they still beat a very good Bengals team. This defense is going to be good this year. It's a bounce back. They were great last week, got lots of turnovers. I think that's the key this week. Bunch of turnovers that Steelers get at home. I think Steelers plus 1.5. I don't think they're going to be missing kicks this week, so I think they're going to win outright. But let's take the 1.5.
I think it should be a better week for kickers. Let's hope, because I'm going to assume they all were getting their ears chewed out in practice over missing last week in the NFL. But yeah, TJ Watt, the team doesn't have the best record without TJ Watt. Actually, when he does miss, I think they're like 0-4. But needless to say, they haven't had the defensive weapons that they've had in the past, like how good Minkah Fitzpatrick's gotten without him. So I like taking the points on that as well. Don't forget, you can get Craig's weekly pass for only $99 going to picksandparlays.net/Craig. All right, let's move into another game. Your Bengals at the Cowboys. Craig, fun fact, I just saw Pro Football Focus put out that the Bengals offensive line was in their top 10 for offensive line so far this season. I don't know if you agree with that and all the offensive line talk we've done so far, but tell me, what do you like in this one?
Really tough loss. I mean, you turn the ball over that many times and you still have the chance. I mean, if you just make an extra point, you win the game. Obviously long snapper issues, and that's what caused, at least that's what they're saying, caused the missed kicks. But to me, it's a Cowboys team. We saw Dak Prescott being out, that's one thing. If you had a backup quarterback, that's okay. But you have a backup quarterback with no weapons. I mean, they saw this last week. They could not do anything. They went and got a field goal to start the game. They didn't do nothing after that. Now, it's a good Tampa Bay defense. So is this Bengals defense. Look what they did against Pittsburgh last week. Remember, 7 of those points were on pick 6 on the first passing play of the game for the Bengals. So that Bengals defense was really good against, I think, a better Steelers offense. So I like the Bengals here -7.5. I know it's a little bit of a square play, but sometimes you just got to – you're betting the games in front of you here. And the Bengals are the better team. I think the Bengals put up 30 this week, and I don't see the Cowboys getting over 17. So to me, I think the Bengals win and cover here.
Yeah, I think the only thing the Bengals have to worry about is Micah Parsons. And other than that, I think they'll be okay. And just hopefully Joe Burrow doesn't have as many turnovers, which someone of his caliber shouldn't have to really worry about that. He should be okay. Falcons and Rams. Rams at -10.5 in this one. The total at 47. I was not happy with what the Rams were doing in week 1. Stafford did not look the same to me, but what do you like?
Well, the one advantage the Rams do have, they played on that opening Thursday night, so they have the extra time. So you do have more time to fix issues and to get healthier. But the problem is, I don't think these are issues they're fixing this year. I think unless they add OBJ and some offensive line help, I just don't see that this team being a lot better than they were in opening game. Now, granted, the Falcons aren't the Bills, but I think the Falcons shown that Saints team, in my opinion, is going to be one of the teams to beat in the NFC this year. I think they're going to win 9, 10, 11 games. So to me, you played right with them. Probably should have won that game, lost on a last second field goal. I like that Falcons confidence. I like this new coaching staff and what they've done. I think getting 10.5 points is just way too many. You can dominate the NFL and keep it within a touchdown. So I think it's pretty safe play. Let's take the Falcons in the 10.5 here.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that too, especially that Rams defense did not look the same without Von Miller. And he took advantage on the other side to prove to them why he was still with it in the NFL. I like those picks a lot, Craig. Remember, if you want Craig's picks, You can go to picksandparlays.net/Craig. He has a weekly pass for only $99. And remember, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We are live on the Power Hour Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Craig. All right, we are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern on the Picks and Parlays Power Hour. Our next guest to bring in today is Lee. Starting off, Lee is going to be talking some college football for us. Texas Tech at NC State. NC State leads the series against Texas Tech 4-1. And man, I'm so interested to see what you have in this one, because these are two teams that are going to be fun to watch in this matchup. And NC State favored at -10, total 55. Gosh, Lee, I need all your insight right now.
Well, hopefully I can help you out here a little bit. And I'm going old school with this game. It's really based on scheduling. The situation clearly favors NC State. Texas Tech's off that huge double overtime win against then ranked Houston, 33-30. They've got a huge game on deck with Texas. In last week's game, Texas Tech was down 20-17 with like 37 seconds left in regulation, forced overtime. Then they converted a big 4th and 20 in the overtime to score again. Again, after they won, they rushed the field. I see them having a letdown here. NC State's off a blowout win. They played Charleston Southern last week. They beat them 55-3. They did beat a decent East Carolina team the week before that in their opener. They've got UConn on deck, so they'll have all their focus on Texas Tech this week. Some technical situations or trends to look at here. Texas Tech off a win. The Red Raiders are 0-4-1 against the spread their last 5 when coming off a win. 3-6-1 their last 10 in that situation, and they've got a negative differential of -8.5 points per game. NC State at home, they've been really, really good of late. They're 23-5 straight up their last 28 at home. They've won those games by plus 12.8 points per game. 13-1 their last 14 at home with a better differential of plus 16.8. Again, given the circumstances, I've got to take the home favorite here. I got to take NC State minus the points.
Yeah, I like that one too. Not to mention Texas Tech has never beaten NC State in Raleigh yet over these series. So sometimes that favors the home team as well. Their home team advantage significant in this matchup. NC State's quarterback breaking Phillip Rivers records. I mean, there's a lot favoring them in this. So, all right, the Wolfpack at -10 in this one. I like it, Lee. Remember, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Our Picks and Parlays Power Hour is live Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, Lee, we're going to move into some NFL on the Power Hour. We've got Bucks at Saints. Tom Brady, in his post-game interview last week, said that their offense needed to do much better. He, in particular, needed to do much better. You're going to know that he's coming into this game with a chip on his shoulder. If I'm the Saints, I'm a little worried about that. But Bucks at -2.5, the total at 44. Tell me what you think.
Well, again, looking at the results last week, Tampa Bay's off a big road win in Dallas, right? That's a big upset road win for them, even though they were favored. Again, that's Dallas. New Orleans needed to come from behind win at Atlanta. Were the Saints maybe looking ahead to this week? Possibly. The Bucks got it done. It wasn't Tom Brady last week. He was efficient, obviously, but it was their running game. They rushed for 152 yards in that game. Saints last year were 4th best in the NFL in rush defense. They allowed just 93.5 points per game rushing. So we like that matchup going head-to-head. Winston played pretty well for the Saints. He's a big factor for New Orleans, how well he plays if he doesn't turn it over. He had 269 yards passing last week, 3 touchdowns. He was 23 of 34. So, again, a very nice game for him. Michael Thomas made an impact, came back and caught 2 touchdown passes, so that's key. But the biggest factor in this game when you look at this rivalry is pressuring the quarterback. Dallas got to Brady twice last week, and you need to pressure Brady if you're going to win. The Saints were 8th in sacks last year defensively, and if you look at the 2 meetings last year, the Saints were +4 at home in one of the meetings. They won that game. They sacked Brady 3 times. They forced 2 interceptions. In the second meeting, they won again. They sacked Brady 4 more times, had another pick in that game. Historically, this is interesting. Since Brady has joined the Bucs, the Saints are 4-1 straight up and against the spread, and they've got a net differential of +54 total points. against the Bucs. So for whatever the reason, the Saints defense has something figured out, their schemes, they get to Brady, they pressure him. I'm going to take the home dog here. I'm going to take New Orleans plus the points.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad pick at all for all of the above reasons you've listed, but the Saints definitely found a way, like you said, to get the better of Brady and the Bucs each time. It's really easy to want to follow on the Tom Brady train and think that he can do this, but he's got a lot of factors figured in there. And like you said, it was not him last week. So no doubt that he's going to put on a better performance this week. That's just what he's able to do. But Saints plus 2.5 is Lee's pick for this NFL talk today. Thank you so much, Lee. I appreciated your time. If you like what Lee has to offer, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Picks and Parlays Power Hour is live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Lee.
Thanks, Anna.
All right, Picks and Parlays Power Hour. We are live 3 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. It is time to bring in our next guest. I believe we have Dan Kaiser here. We are going to start off by talking some college football. I'm excited about this matchup we have because it's a rare meeting between these two teams, the Michigan State Spartans and Washington Huskies. Huskies favored at -3 in this one, total at 56.5. Washington's got an offensive coordinator. He's familiar with some Big Ten defenses. I mean, I'm excited to see how this one plays out, but what are some of the things you're thinking about as you're looking to place a bet on this?
Well, Hannah, I'm glad you're excited about this one. I mean, if you ever seen the movie Green Street Hooligans, there's a line in there where the guy says, there's 3 words that keep you up at night. Manchester United away. If you're a Spartan fan or a Big Ten fan, there's 3 words that keep you up at night, and that's Pac-12 away. Spartans have had bad luck when they head to the West Coast. A couple of years ago, we were destroyed by Arizona State, a bad Arizona State team. We've lost to Oregon out west. Any Pac-10, any Big Ten team that travels out there seems to have a problem. Whether it's the weather, the time difference, it's hard to explain. So this one, I've been going back and forth with this one. I'm not going to play a side. I'm looking at a side, probably a premium pick coming up later this week. So I'm looking at the total. The Spartans fans are wondering what's happened to Peyton Thorne. He's looked terrible in some games, but if you break it down, he's got like 4 wide receivers he's completing 80% of his passes to. The one guy he seems to go to a lot, Coleman, he's only completing 35% of his passes. And he's overthrowing them a lot. Hopefully they get that worked out in practice. Spartans have a dual threat running, attacking the killer bees with Berger and Broussard. And then you look at this Washington team, Penix Jr. I remember a game a couple of years ago where he completed like 21 straight passes against the Spartans team. Secondary hasn't been tested much this year, and it was terrible last year. So I think Washington's going to be able to move the ball against the Spartans. I think the Spartans are going to be able to move the ball against the Huskies. 56.5. I see at least one of these teams getting in the 30s, if not both of them. I like this game going over the number.
Yeah, I think that's a decent pick. It's hard to pick a side in this one because neither team's really been tested yet either. So there could be a lot of errors made in this game, especially when it comes to Peyton Thorne. You said he wasn't looking good. Well, he's been very interception prone for Michigan State, even dating back to last year. So I would say that that's a pretty good pick there. Thank you so much for your college sports knowledge there, Dan. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You know the drill. We are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And now, Dan, I'm going to ask you to talk some NFL. We've got my Pittsburgh Steelers welcoming the New England Patriots. Patriots favorite at -1.5. We talked about this. I talked about this with Craig in one of his rapid fire segments, and we were both just kind of scratching our heads as to why the Patriots might be favored in this one. Maybe the TJ Watt thing, but Patriots have been favored. The line hasn't moved too much. So why do you think this is, and what do you like?
I think some of it has to do, the quarterback for Pittsburgh, MVP Mitch, he seems to struggle a lot against defenses. And, Belichick, he'll try to throw some things at him to confuse him. But in saying that, I mean, Mac Jones, he's got a bad back. And he didn't look good last week. You're still playing this Matt Patricia, Joe Judge offensive coordinator game in New England. I don't even know what that's about. It's almost like Belichick is pulling like a Tony La Russa and saying I'm smarter than everybody else, and I can win with 2 defensive coordinators running my offense. I don't get it. I think Pittsburgh will be able to control New England's offense with their defense. Trubisky, I think he can do enough. He's got some weapons. They'll control the ball offensively. I was surprised with this line. I thought the Steelers would be a slight favorite, especially being at home. So how can I pass up the points? Which if you look at week one, I know you really can't look at week one, but you look at week one, they definitely seem to be the better team and had a better game against the Bengals than the Patriots did. If you're going to give me some points with a good team at home, I'll take them. Give me the Steelers.
Yeah, I like that too, especially because I know Bill Belichick's probably going to keep under wraps whether or not Mac Jones will be 100% ready and cleared until really game time. And if Hoyer has to step in there, I think Steelers is definitely the best bet at the moment because I know that was a concern. I think Jones will be fine from things I'm hearing with just being back spasms. But yeah, take the points with the Steelers in this one for sure would be my thing. I would say even if they're looking maybe for the under, it could be a low-scoring game based off of what we saw offensively in those two last week. But I think taking points with the Steelers is the better bet in this one. So thank you so much, Dan, for your NFL expertise. Always a pleasure speaking with you. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You don't want to miss our Picks and Parlays Power Hour that is live every week, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Dan, enjoy your day and good luck with your picks. Once again, we are live on the Picks and Parlays Power Hour. I'm your host, Hannah Mears. We are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Now it's time for Nick Earl to join me. And he's got some NCAA rapid fire for us. And I'm really excited to hear what you have because last week, college football was really fun. NFL football was really fun. And so there's always a lot to look forward to in the coming weeks as the season moves on, lines shift. You really teams get exposed. So you've got 5 minutes, you've got 5 games, and I'm ready for them.
Let's do this.
All right, we've got Kansas at Houston. Houston favored at -9. The total 57.5. Nick, who are you taking?
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with this Kansas team is all of a sudden they have an offense this year. They can move the ball down the field. They've put up 55 points against West Virginia. And they put up 55 points against West Virginia, and they put up 56 points, granted, in week 1 against Tennessee Tech. But this is a team where they're getting their offense moving a little bit here, and this could be a little bit of a interesting spot for Houston coming in off of an overtime, back-to-back overtime games where they have gone over the total in both games. They've needed overtime for both those games to go over, but they put up at least 30 points in both games, and I can see this becoming a little bit of a shootout here. So I like the over in this for this first game.
Yeah, especially when you've got a Kansas offense that's been rolling, man. They're finding themselves very comfortable in the end zone. So that game, Kansas and Houston, we're taking the over. All right, what's our next one we've got here? Miami at Texas A&M. Texas A&M favored at -5. Quick little note for you here. My 10th grade brother texted me today saying, can you take Texas A&M at -5? I think that's a really good bet. So my 10th grade brother thinks that's a good bet. I have not looked into this one yet, but him and his friends must be excited about this game in their high school this week. So you tell me what you think.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to look at this game and immediately think, let me take Miami. I mean, Texas A&M, they just lost to App State. Now, these are some things I like to look at is overreactions from week to week. And this is a big one here. I had this game priced at Texas A&M -9. So I think this game should be up over a touchdown here. So only having to lay 5 points with the Aggies in the spot, I have no problem doing that here, especially after coming in off of that bad loss. They're going to look to bounce back in this spot. So I'll take the A&M Aggies here at -5.
Yeah, so often in college football, especially early on, we seen really good teams lose to guys they should not be losing to and have no business losing to, but the good teams tend to bounce back.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna lay the points with Texas A&M in this one. Let's see what our next game is. We've got Mississippi State at LSU. Mississippi State favored at -2.5, total at 53.5. So tell me, are people overreacting with everything going on with LSU too?
Potentially, yeah. Because one thing that I noticed right off the rip when I was looking at this game, I had this game priced at LSU -3. So I think the wrong team is favored in this spot here. So I'm going to take +115 at home in the Bayou with the LSU Tigers in this spot. And yes, Mississippi State's looked really good to start the year. But they played Memphis, which I'm expecting them to take a step down this year. And they played Arizona, which is not that great of a Pac-12 team. LSU coming in, they could have potentially come back in that week 1 game against FSU, and then they blew out Southern University, which that was one of those games where you're supposed to do that. It's an FCS school. So I'm expecting this to be a win for the LSU Tigers at home. It's a 6 o'clock game, so it's a little bit of a later game. So a little bit of a night action in the Bayou. I'm going to take the Tigers here plus 115.
Yeah, I like that one too. I'm excited to watch them back at home in the Bayou as well. All right, I think, do we have one more? Did I count right? One more? Two more? One more?
Two more.
We talked about Michigan State and the Huskies earlier with Dan. He may have a different pick than you. So I'm curious to see what you think in this one. I know him and I talked about the Big Ten struggling, traveling over in the Pac-12 occasionally, but Washington's had a tough time getting their offense rolling and trying to incorporate a new offense. So what do you like in this one?
Washington's offense has actually impressed me so far this year. Granted, they've played Portland State and Kent State, but they put up 45 and 52 points. So their offense is moving here. And one thing that really caught my attention with this game, and I'm sorry, Lenny, I know you're probably watching from behind stage there. You get an unranked team at home favored versus a ranked football team. That automatically screams to the home team for me in this one. And this is another one where I see some value on this line too with Washington. My line for this one's Washington minus 5.5. So they're rightful favorites in this game. So I'm going to take a shot here. Washington minus 3. I get it. A lot of people are really going to like Michigan State this year. They see a ranked team at plus points and plus money. I think that this is one of those spots where when you see a unranked team at home as a favorite versus a ranked team, you got to go with the home team there.
Especially when Michigan State, we've talked about it, has a quarterback that's interception prone. He's made some mistakes. And if you get him shaken up a little bit, if that Washington defense, they might need to rely on them a little bit in this one, can get Peyton Thorne out of his rhythm early, and you get the home crowd really on your side, that can flip a game pretty fast. So I like that one too, Nick. All right, make sure you know. Oh, we've got another one. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait a second. I thought my counting's off. Don't take my picks this week. Geez, I can't even count. Nevada at Iowa. Lord help the Hawkeyes. Please give them some hope. Iowa favored at minus 23. Do I even want to touch points with Iowa at this point? Do I even want to look at Iowa? No, but I want to know what you think, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm not laying 23 points even at home with a team that's put up 1 touchdown, 2 field goals, and a field goal and 2 safeties this year. Absolutely not. No. I'm going to take the points in this game here, and I'm probably even going to look to sprinkle on the money line with the Nevada Wolfpack, strictly because I can see this being 7-3, 10-7, something like that. If you're going to see a low-scoring game like this, there's a chance that big dog can win straight up. I don't trust Iowa whatsoever. I see this as a very low-scoring game, so the under is also in play. It's a 39, though, so good luck trying to take an under 39. I get it. It's Iowa offense, which is punt, interception, punt. But, yeah, I'm going to take the Wolfpack here, plus 23, and probably on Saturday morning I'm going to sprinkle the money line there.
All right, there you go. Yeah, I kind of like the money line on that one, too.
You'll probably get close to plus 1,000 for that. So
yeah, but no, I agree with that one, man. I can't get behind Iowa right now. They really need a game, though, to help just give them some rhythm. So hopefully if they can just maybe have a game without mistakes, that can be a plus for them, or maybe getting an offense in some rhythm. I don't know if playing Nevada is going to say much about it, but if you want more of our content, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, so something that I love to do as well is NFL. We talked some NCAA, but let's go ahead and move into the big leagues. We got Falcons at Rams. Rams favored in this one at minus 10.5. I did not like what I saw from the Rams against the Bills. I get it. It was the Bills, but defensively, I think they struggled. Matt Stafford didn't look really good. Cooper Kupp carried that offense for sure. He helped me in one of my prop bets. And the Falcons looking like they're putting together a season for themselves potentially. So what do you like?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Falcons whatsoever here.
Okay.
And this is one of these games where Tim and I looked at each other. We're like, this is probably going to make it on our Circa Millions contest plays. We like the Rams in this spot. And this line, and this is a public overreaction spot, something I like to look at for week number 2 in the NFL. Because I believe it went 7-0 at ATS last year if you followed this in week 2, and I think 69-33 all season long. If you see a team that covered or did not cover the week before versus a team that did cover, they're hitting at that insane rate. It's a 69-33 all of last year, 7-0 in week 2. That's why I love to call week 2 overreaction week 2, because we're going to get some of these spots where this line opened up at 13.5, and the public saw, Atlanta almost knocked them off, and wow, the Rams looked terrible last week. So I'm going to take the Rams here. I think this is Rams early and often. I don't mind playing the first half full game with the Rams here in this spot. I think they win this game by close to 20 points or something along those lines. So I'm going to look to take the Rams here minus 10.5 and look for them to take care of business here with an Atlanta team also traveling across the country as well in this spot. So Rams all day, early and often and all day.
I hope they make you proud, because they did not make me proud.
Me neither. I had them week 1.
Matchup. Well, I guess everyone's just gonna have to wait and see, like we will, because everyone's got some differing opinions on that game, and rightfully so. But make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications if you want more, and you got to follow along to see who's winning these ones this week. We've got some differing opinions. Our Power Hour is live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, Nick, I know you also have some props for football bets for Sunday. Do we have those this week?
There was no available props, so that was unfortunately scratched.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to those as it comes, so I'll keep my eyes out, because I like playing some props for NFL as well. It was fun last week. Maybe in that Rams game, Cooper Kupp helped with my props, that's for sure. So thank you, Cooper Kupp. But that is all for our Picks and Parlays Power Hour. Again, we are live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow along so you don't miss a single minute of our action. And good luck with your bets this week.